Hey, what's going on, guys? Nutsack here today with a new video for you guys. And today, the UFC 307 card got announced, and I'm not gonna lie, there's some banger fights on there. So right now we're gonna be doing my super early predictions, super early. These are not my official predictions. I'm just gonna kind of go through every fight and just kind of like pick one, and pick who I think's gonna win, and just like basically give it credit for how good of a fight it is. Honestly, I think UFC 307 is better than 306, and I also think that 308's a banger as well. So we're also gonna be doing the 308 super early predictions, and we're actually gonna do 306 as well. We're gonna fit them all into this video. Why not, right? So let's do it. So we got UFC 306 here, and then we're gonna be just doing all these super early predictions basically. So yeah, let's get into it. Where do I start? Okay, Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic. I have no idea why it's not opening. Please open. Okay, I guess not. Esteban Ribovic is coming off of a. I don't want to fuck you. Here, let me go back. Sorry, my computer's being slow. Okay, bro. Okay, whatever. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic. Esteban Ribovic fought on the St. Louis card, I believe. If not, I'm mistaking it for a different one. And I believe the last person he fought was Terrence McKinney, who he flatlined in the first round. Crazy KO. And Daniel Zellhuber is coming off of an actually impressive win from the Mexico City card a couple months back. And I forgot who he fought. I forgot the guy's name. I know he's Argentinian, I believe. But this fight's honestly tough. I haven't seen much of either of them. I'm gonna go with. This is tough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with Daniel Zellhuber. I just haven't seen much of either of them. I gotta do research on these fights, but these are just early predictions, like I said. So I'm not gonna be what do you call it? Looking too deep into them. So don't take these like predictions too into account. These are just gonna be like my early predictions. And basically I'm just gonna be glancing at the fights and like picking someone really quick. So coming up next, we got Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. Yes, I'm skipping this fight. I don't care about that. I'm picking Ronaldo Rodriguez. He looked super good in his last fight. I believe it was a submission over I forgot who, but he looked super impressive. That's all I remember. And Ode Osborne's like a vet, but he's never really been that good. He's kind of like the flyweight stepping stone. So I'm gonna pick Ronaldo Rodriguez to win this fight because he's a beast. Haven't done research on either of these guys. I think I'm gonna go Kevin Borjas just because I know him more, to be honest. I don't know. These guys, I'm gonna go with Manuel Torres, Adrian Aldana. This one's interesting. I actually don't know much about Corey Lang. I know he's alright though. He's not like a can like the last couple people that Raul Rosas faced, but I'm gonna go with Raul Rosas. I'll expect him to do with a second round submission. Next we got this one, Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega. I'm gonna go with Diego Lopez with the first round KO. A lot of people are gonna say that Brian Ortega wins or Diego Lopez is gonna win by decision just because of the decision with Dan Ige. But I do think that Diego Lopez gets too much discredit for that Dan Ige fight just because he lost one round and he kind of gassed out. But people don't forget that Dan Ige actually didn't have to cut weight, so he was able to eat those shots like that. And Brian Ortega was getting dropped all over the place by Yair in their last fight. I know he ended up finishing him, but in the first round he got dropped a couple times, and Diego Lopez does have nasty power. And Brian Ortega will be cutting weights, and this will be at 145 and not 165. So he will have the weight cut to worry about, and I think Diego Lopez will be able to be the first person to knock out Brian Ortega. I'm going to pick a first round or second round TKO. And I'll expect Diego Lopez to know enough not to get on the ground with Brian Ortega, because that's basically just a death sentence. Coming up next, we got Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. I think Valentina's going to win. I think Valentina's going to win the decision. But I think they're going to rob her and give it to Alexa Grasso because it's a Noche UFC card, and they're going to want to rig it for Alexa Grasso like they did last time. Rig a scorecard like a 10-8, so they made it a draw, even though Valentina should have won that fight. And I think she will win this fight in our eyes, but Alexa will win on paper just because it's a Noche UFC fight. And I love Alexa. she's dope, but and I accidentally clicked on her. Please don't bring her up, and you fucking brought her up. So yeah, next, and then coming up next we got Sean O'Malley versus Merab. You know, I'd like to do more breakdown of this fight. This is not my official prediction, but I think I'm gonna go with. I don't know, man. This is such a tough fight, cause okay, Merab's like. The thing about Sean O'Malley is like Sean O'Malley is a nightmare matchup for Merab, but when you're fighting Merab, everyone's a nightmare matchup for Merab. Henry Cejudo was supposed to be a nightmare matchup for Merab, you know. Peter Yan was supposed to be a nightmare matchup. Jose Aldo, but Merab's just a freak. He can always get it done. But Sean O'Malley is, I know it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like we're just saying like all these guys are nightmare matchups for Merab, but it just doesn't matter because his cardio is so good. I do think Sean O'Malley has great distance management, great takedown defense, but it doesn't even matter if you have great takedown defense. Peter Yan, Jose Aldo, and Henry Cejudo all have great takedown defense, and they were still mauled by Merab. I mean, I know Merab wasn't able to take down Aldo, but he was still able to win that fight. And you know, it's just super tough to pick this one. I think I'm gonna go with Merab by decision, just because I don't see him. I could totally see Sean O'Malley hitting Merab with the big shot and KOing him in round 1, but I think Merab will win by decision just by pure volume. I know Sean O'Malley has good cardio too, but it's so tough. If Peter Yan had a closer fight with Merab, I can't remember who was injured in that fight. I can remember if Peter Yan was injured in that fight. I know Sean's super good, and Sean's O'Malley's one of my favorite fighters, and I want to pick him so bad, I really do, but I just believe Merab's gonna get done. He's like a freak of nature, bro. It's unbelievable. But yeah, so these are my quick UFC 306 predictions before actually being able to do research. Now let's go to UFC 307, which just got announced today. Pereira versus Roundtree. My reaction to this fight, I'm surprised they had Ankalaev fight on the Abu Dhabi card against Rakic, and then they're having Roundtree face Pereira, even though he was ranked number 8, and his last one was over Anthony Smith, and that fight was kind of competitive while it was on the feet. But I mean, I think Pereira, it's an easy title defense, and Pereira's one of my favorite fighters, so I can't get mad at it. And you know, I like Roundtree too. He's really entertaining, but I think Pereira's gonna get a first round KO for sure. So that's my prediction for this fight. I'll have to do more research, but something tells me that my what do you call it? My prediction is not gonna change. Coming up next, we got Kayla Harrison versus Kaylin Vieira. I'll pick this one because it's actually like a high-ranking women's fight. I'm going to go with Kayla Harrison. She looked like a fucking beast against Holly Holm. She did really good. 10-8 first round and finished her in the second. Nasty ground and pound. And then subbed her with the rear naked choke, I believe. Easily beat her. I'm not too sure about Kaylin Vieira. I'll probably do research on this fight as well, since it's it's probably a number 1 contenders fight, I'm guessing, for the winner of this one. But yeah. Next we got Movsar versus Aljo. You know, this is actually an interesting fight. I forgot about this fight. This is a super interesting fight. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Aljo. Yeah, fuck, man, this is really tough. I shouldn't be thinking about it this much. I'm gonna do research and obviously make my official prediction in a later video, but I think I'm gonna go with Aljo. I think Movsar didn't really look that good against Arnold Allen. I know Arnold Allen is elite, but I think Aljo's a better grappler than Arnold Allen. He'll be able to out-wrestle Movsar. He also used to be a bantamweight, so he has the grappling skill. I know it's just because his performance over Calvin Kattar wasn't like that impressive, bro. And I really don't want to say Movsar beats him, because Movsar's fucking, what do you call it? His performance over Arnold Allen wasn't impressive either. So it's just a super tough fight to pick. I think I'm gonna go with Aljo for right now. It might change in the future, but I'm gonna go with Aljo. I think he has the tools to beat him, and I think he's also a slightly better striker, and he has better jiu-jitsu as well. And yeah, so I'm gonna go with Aljo for this one. For this fight, this is a tough fight. It's actually not middleweight. Oh, it's gonna be middleweight. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze did pretty good in his last fight, but but he was striking with Anthony Smith, and Kevin Holland is a better striker than Anthony Smith. If it stays on the feet, I could see Kevin Holland winning, but I think Roman Lidzi will be able to get on the ground, and I think Roman Lidzi is going to win it via either ground and pound TKO or a submission. Yeah. So I think Roman Lidzi is going to win this one. Moving on, the next one, we got Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. This one's easy. I'm picking Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo has great takedown defense. And, finally letting me open up the things. Who's Mario Batista's last fight? Ricky Simon. I think he subbed him, actually. Or, yeah, he out-grappled Ricky Simon. Let's check out these stats, actually. Because I actually don't remember Mario Batista's performance too well. Okay, yeah, so it was on the feet. Okay. Yeah, still, I think Jose Aldo's gonna win. I think he's still an elite striker. Outstruck Jonathan Martinez, who I think is a better striker than Mario Batista. So I think Jose Aldo will win this fight, and yeah. Like I said, my prediction might change in the future. Moving on to the next fight, Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. I'm gonna pick Joaquin Buckley. He's on a really good win streak, hot streak, and Wonderboy's getting old. I know Wonderboy's still fast and he's still a great striker, but Joaquin Buckley does have wrestling, and I think that's what he's gonna do. He's not gonna be able to outstrike Wonderboy for sure, even at Wonderboy's old age. So I think Joaquin Buckley's honestly just gonna wrestle with Wonderboy and maybe win a like a 30-27 decision. But yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen, and yeah, that's what's gonna happen for this one. We got the next one, Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. I honestly don't give a fuck about this fight, but I'm gonna pick Juliana Pena just because she beat Amanda Nunes. And then finally this fight, I'm gonna be picking Alex Pereira by a round 1 KO. Khalil Rountree is a beast. I do think he's a little overrated though. He's kind of competitive with Anthony Smith, and I feel like if you're really next up, then you shouldn't be competitive with Anthony Smith. You know what I mean? Who else has he knocked out? I believe he also knocked out Chris Dawkins, and then before that, Modestas Bukauskas. Modestas Bukauskas actually just had a good win recently, so but I mean it's Alex, so they're completely different of course. So I'm gonna be going with Alex to win this fight by a first round KO. And yeah, these are my 307 picks, and finally my quick picks for 308. Here we go. And this is my favorite card out of all of them, Max versus Holloway. So first fight, Renat Fakhretdinov. When was the last time this guy fought? I actually can't remember. Let's check it. Last time he fought. June. Oh, he fought in June. Oh, I'm stupid. Fakhretdinov. Kevin Lee. Fought Kevin Lee. It was a draw. He drew with the guy, and then Nicholas Dalby. I split this. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm going with Rizzy Boy to pick this fight. I'll do more research and I'll do like a breakdown for this fight. Not like a breakdown on my channel, obviously, but I'll break it down and I'll like check out the stylistic matchups. But I'm picking Rizzy Boy by a knockout. Fakhretdinov does look good, but yeah, maybe it'll probably change in the future. This fight, I'm definitely gonna go with Bruno Ferreira. He's a fucking beast, and Agus Magomedov just isn't that good in my opinion. So Bruno Ferreira for this one. This one's interesting actually. Marcus Rogerio de Lima is actually kind of a fast heavyweight, but Kennedy Nzechukwu is moving up from light heavyweight. I think he just lost to OSP though. This fight's tough, but this is probably one of the fights that might change in the future. I might go with Kennedy in the future, but I think I'm gonna go with Rogerio de Lima. He's bigger and he's also like a little bit fast for a heavyweight. Not saying he's too fast, obviously, but he's kind of fast. But Nchukwu has the lighter man skill, as Lucas Tracy would say. Credits to Lucas Tracy. He has the lighter man skill, and most of the time those guys win. So I might pick him in the future, but for now I'm going with de Lima. For this fight, I'm definitely gonna go with Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal, I don't know why RDA is still fighting ranked opponents. To be honest, I don't even know why he's in the UFC at all. I know he's okay, but like, come on, man. RDA's been fighting forever, and he fights anyone. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I'm gonna be going with Jeff Neal by either decision or a TKO maybe. But yeah, I think Jeff Neal obviously is the better striker at this point in his career, and Jeff Neal also, we all know he has great takedown defense, so I don't think he's going to be able to get, RDA is going to be able to get him to the ground, and I think he's going to easily be able to outstrike RDA at this point in time, so I'm going to go in with Jeff Neal. Actually, I'm going to go with Jeff Neal by a TKO, first round, second round, TKO. Moving on to this fight, we got Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige. Now I know a lot of people are gonna be picking Dan Ige to win this fight, but when I first saw this fight, I thought Lerone Murphy is definitely gonna win this fight. I'm gonna be picking with Lerone Murphy, and I'm super confident about that pick. Lerone Murphy looked super elite against what's his name, Barboza. Looked amazing against him. I know he doesn't have a lot of power, but he has great volume, great striking. He was able to mix in the grappling as well. He honestly looked super elite in that fight. And I think Dan Ige is good, but I think a lot of people are just overrating him because, you know, he came in on 3 hours notice. And like I said, I do think people are overrating him, but I can't pick against Lerone Murphy in this fight, dude. I'm sorry. Lerone Murphy is going to win by a 30-27 decision, volume punches. But I'm not saying I'm counting out Dan Ige. I think Dan Ige also has the ability to KO anyone, and because Dan Ige has stones for hands, he's probably the biggest power puncher in that featherweight division besides Topuria and probably Josh Emmett as well. So we can't put it past him to get a KO. But I've never even seen Lerone Murphy rocked, so I'm not gonna say that Dan Ige is gonna KO him. So I'm gonna go with the Lerone Murphy by an easy 30-27 decision. Moving on to the next fight, we got Magomed versus Rakic. This is actually a pretty good stylistic matchup. I'm actually excited to see this fight. A lot of people were mad that Magomed should be fighting Alex. Yeah, there's some truth to that. I do think he's more deserving than Roundtree, but I don't think he's that deserving of a title shot yet. He's just coming off of a win from Johnny Walker. I know he has like no losses too, which is good, but this is definitely a #1 contenders fight for sure. Either he's gonna fight Alex next, or Alex moves up, and then he's gonna fight for a vacant title, presumably with maybe Jamal Hill or someone like that. And I think Magomed will win that fight. If he does fight Jamal Hill, he'll win, I think, in my opinion. But in Rakic's case, Rakic is also a good grappler, so I don't think Magomed will be able to, rely on his grappling at the end if he's losing the striking. This is such a tough fight to pick. I think I'm going to go with Rakic. I'm going to go with Rakic for right now, just off the top of my head. It might change in the future if I rewatch some of their old fights. But Rakic has the low kicks, and Magomed was getting wobbled with low kicks by Jan. And I know Jan is better with low kicks than Rakic, but Rakic is super elite when it comes to low kicks. He was low kicking the shit out of Yuri, and I know Yuri doesn't check low kicks, and Ankalaev actually does check low kicks, but I think Rakic will be able to at least hurt Magomed with low kicks enough. I know it's tough though, because Rakic's also coming off of a knockout loss. I don't think Magomed has as much power and isn't as much of a slugger as Yuri. That's pretty obvious, but I think his grappling will cancel out Magomed's grappling, because I think Magomed is actually a super overrated grappler. People act like he's the light heavyweight Khabib just because he's Dagestani, but in reality, Magomed's a striker. So I don't know why people think he's all of a grappler. But I'm actually going to be going with Rakic for this fight. I think Magomed's better, but Rakic is honestly just the best. Is honestly just a great stylistic matchup for him. He can cancel out the grappling, and I think he'll be able to hit him with the low kicks. And Alexander Rakic is also a huge light heavyweight, so he has good power as well, decent power. So I think Alexander Rakic will win by decision, maybe a robbery as well. I think if it was to go to a decision and it was a close fight, the judges would obviously lean towards Magomed, but I think I'm gonna predict Rakic to win by a 29-28 decision. But like I said, my fight, I'll break down some of these guys' fights in the future before I make my full card prediction video, and I'll check it out. I'll check out like both their fights. Ooh, I love this fight. Rob Whittaker versus Hamzat. I don't think Rob Whittaker should be taking this risk. I think he should be fighting Sean Strickland and nobody else for a #1 contenders fight. But you gotta give it to Rob. He always wants the toughest fights. That's why he's one of my favorite fighters. Honestly, Hamzat's one of my favorite fighters as well. I love him too. Unfortunately, he doesn't fight. He's super inactive, which I dislike about him. Rob Whittaker asked for this fight, which just shows how badass he is. But I think he's gonna be super confident going into this fight, more confident than Hamzat. I'm gonna be picking Rob Whittaker to win by a 49-46 or a 49-47 decision. I think that he will lose the first round because Hamzat will try and get him out of there. And there's also the possibility of Hamzat finishing him in the first round, but I just don't see it happening because I think Rob Whittaker has a really good ability to survive, and it's tough. This is a tough fight to pick because we did see Rob get gassed out on the ground by not gassed out. He did get damaged on the ground by Dricus, and I think Hamzat's better on the ground than Dricus, but Dricus also has a better gas tank, and I don't know if Hamzat's gonna be able to outstrike Whittaker and knock him out on the feet like Dricus was able to with his long reach and everything. I see that it's super tough. Rob Whittaker has great scrambles too. He has good wrestling, but I think honestly Hamzat has the ability to take anyone down. It's just his cardio, man. If he had better cardio, I'd pick Hamzat to win this fight 100%, but his cardio just looks like so many issues, and recently he just got sick again, so I think his cardio might be even worse coming around this fight, and he hasn't fought in like a year. The last fight he fought, he like barely beat Kamaru Usman, possibly even like a draw with him, barely beat him, like barely scraped by him. And Kamaru Usman was coming in that fight like on a week's notice with no knees. We know no knees Usman, and it's just super tough. If Hamzat didn't have all these things against him, then I would pick Hamzat to win this fight. But I'm picking Rob Whittaker to win by decision. I think he'll survive the first, and then Hamzat will gas out, and then Rob Whittaker will just be able to piece him up for the rest of the time. Honestly, I could see Rob Whittaker and maybe TKOing him in one of the later rounds. So I'm predicting Rob Whittaker by a late round TKO or a decision. But yeah, moving on to the next fight. Ooh, Gane versus Volkov. Damn, there's so many good fights on this one. Sorry guys, there's so many good fights on this card, on 308. Sorry, not 208. Who to pick? Volkov's on a really good win streak right now. I really love Volkov. I think he's super elite. He hasn't had much success into his career, but he's clearly improved a lot, coming off of great wins from Sergey, Taito Ivasa, and I believe he also beat who else? Alexander Romanov, and I think there's one more I'm forgetting. I can't think of him. But yeah, he's coming off of a good win streak, but Gane is probably his toughest test. I know this fight already happened and Gane won, but I think that Volkov is now like super improved. He's really improved now. But I can't pick against Gane on the feet, bro. If Volkov decides to wrestle, maybe he'll win, but I can't pick against Gane on the feet against anyone besides probably Aspinall. I think Aspinall could KO Gane, but yeah, like I said, for any heavyweight, I can't pick against Gane on the feet. Maybe I'll break down their fights, more recent fights, and I know Gane's been inactive as well, but he just has so much talent in this division. He's like so fast, and that's just like such an advantage. So I'm gonna be picking Gane by a decision. I think it's gonna be a closer fight than people think, maybe like a 49-47 even, but I would be picking Gane to win this fight for sure. Not 49-47. I thought this was the co-main. Why is this the co-main? But I heard this was a 5-round co-main, so they probably messed it up. But if this fight's I'm guessing this fight's gonna be 3 rounds, so I'll pick a 29-28 by Cyril Gane. So, but yeah. And by the way, I think Aspinall sleeps out Gane cold. I just want to throw that out there. You guys know I love Aspinall. And honestly, I don't even know what's next for Cyril Gane after that fight, because he doesn't want to fight Aspinall, but he doesn't want to fight for the belt, and they're not going to give him John Jones after beating Volkov, and if they do, I'm going to kill myself. Probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but moving on to the next fight. We got Ilya versus Max. Fuck, man. This is probably one of the toughest fights I've ever had to pick in my entire life as a UFC fan. This is so even. Honestly, I can't do it. I'm going to be going with Max Holloway by a 49-47 decision. I can honestly see Ilya dropping him once or twice, Max's chin, we saw Gagey drop him, and he's just gonna have a bigger weight cut this time. And Ilya has fucking stones for hands. And he has great boxing combinations. If he gets Max up against the cage and unleashes one of those combos like he did to Volk, I don't think Max will be out cold, but I think that Ilya will be able to drop him at least once or twice. I don't even think twice, maybe once or twice. And I think he'll win the rounds off of that, but Max will win most of the other rounds. Max has better range, and he's more versatile with his striking. Ilya kind of just has his boxing, and I know Max struggles with shorter guys. That's like the myth. Apparently, Max struggles with shorter guys. I think that's bullshit. I think that people say that because he fought Volk, but in reality, Max doesn't struggle with shorter guys. Max struggles against one of the greatest strikers in UFC history, top 3 for sure, maybe even the number 1. And Volk at 35 years old was actually beating Ilya Taporia like in strikes before getting knocked out, because obviously Ilya has a power advantage. But like pure striking, like volume wise, Volk was actually beating Ilya up until the KO. And we all know what Volk did to Max though. I don't think MMA math's gonna work though. I'm gonna pick Max by 48-47 decision. And the rounds that Max loses, I could see him getting dropped, but I think Max is gonna win based off of volume. And I think Max has better head movement than Ilya. I don't think Ilya has that great of head movement. I think he's gonna light him up with the spinning body kicks as well. Hit him with the body shots. I know it's gonna be a little awkward hitting the body shots because Ilya's a little shorter, but Ilya's hardest fight was against Jai Herbert, who also has really good range. He got dropped in that fight, and he got his mouthpiece knocked out. That was the hardest fight. I know he put out Jai Herbert out cold, but Jai Herbert is not Max Holloway, so I think I can't pick against Max Holloway after watching his last performance. I know Ilya's last performance. Man, this fight's so fucking even. I can't decide. I'm picking Max. I'm gonna go with Max 48-47 decision. That's my final pick for right now. Maybe it'll change in the future, but I don't think it will. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Drop a like and comment. Hey, drop some video ideas for me. I'm kind of running out, so if you guys have any video ideas for me, drop them in the comment section, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's up, guys? I almost forgot. I'll put this at the end of the video, but quick shout out to HighMMA. He's been DMing me on Instagram. Really chill dude, and he's trying to start his own UFC YouTube channel. And I checked out some of his videos, and they're honestly really well made, and I really like how well made they are. That's my favorite part about them. The thumbnails are really good, well made, and the videos, his commentary is funny as well. Most recently, he just made a video on the Fighting Nerds, which is a really good up-and-coming gym. Guys like John Silva, Kyle Baralho, Mauricio Ruffi, and Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates is fighting this weekend, so in honor of the gym, he made a video crediting them, and I watched the video yesterday. I really liked it, really well made. He only has 48 subscribers, but honestly, he deserves more, so I decided I would shout him out in this video. So go check out HighMMA's YouTube channel. But yeah, have a good one, guys. I'll see you on the next one.